Today, what we're just going to focus on is how to basically design a product photo. So, for example, you've chosen a product from Alibaba, you've chosen your logo, you've done up your website a bit, and now you want to create some product photos. You could wait for the production of the actual product that you've chosen, and you could allow it to come in. You could take some photos. However, that whole process can be a bit time consuming. I've been through that road, and for the efficiency and turnover, it might not be the best idea. So let's look at another way of going about this. So this is the product that I've chosen here. So we've just got a random vacuum cleaner, and it's a handheld one. They've been doing pretty well lately. Good customer review rate. I don't use any particular apps. You don't really need to go ahead and use those particular apps. What you can do, however, is look at the order. I know the order rate's not amazing. Look at the like rate, look at the order rate, look at also how many people follow the store. So this is not the best example here, but sometimes what happens is there is a low follow amount and a high order rate, and that gives a sign that this product is doing pretty well in the market, and potentially it might just be starting up on the come up. Still, you can use all these different apps for a figuring out saturation in the market and whatnot, but I don't particularly use that. What's worked well for me, however, is setting up very, very good photos, for instance. So let's take a look at that. One photo I chose is this one. So what I did was I went through, well, my example was obviously AliExpress. You could do the same thing with Alibaba, like I said. But I went through AliExpress and chose this photo here. I did a screenshot of this and came up with a square image. I like working with square images just because if I did want to post it on Instagram, did want to post it on TikTok, it's not a hassle. You can go via the 16:9 ratio, but square images work quite a bit. What I like doing in particular as well is I've just chosen a random logo off Canva just to give a good example, potentially a good example. Add some sort of some sort of logo design on the actual photo. So you can do something like this, for instance. That's cool. You can also go select. So I'm just saying select all. And then go and copy. So I went select all, I went copy, and it was on the actual logo layer. Then what I'm going to do is add another layer, and on that layer, go to filter, vanish point. So vanishing point, and I'm just going to quickly, not precisely do this. Obviously you want to do it more precise than what I'm doing. Oh god, I missed that. Fuck it, let's do that there. Move this up a bit. No, there we go. Okay, so we've copied that actual logo. All I'm going to do is Control V, so paste, and just chuck it up on the side like that. Okay, on a new layer over there. So I know I went a bit fast over there, and this is kind of all over the place, but my main purpose of doing this is just showing you how you can kind of create the image as your own. What you can do, other things, is lower the opacity, make it look like a part of the image. Sometimes the image itself is a bit blurred, and your actual logo is a lot more sharp. The way to go around this, however, is to go over to blur and literally just add in a bit of Gaussian blur. So however much, just eyeball it. I don't believe in this whole follow this 1.3 1.85 pixel rule. Just literally eyeball it to begin with. Pick up in the intricacies later, but something like that. Obviously that's too much there. Maybe something like that there, and that fits better with the actual image. Obviously you can do it for all different sides, all different types of ways, and you can go ahead and do that further control, if your image was going over bumps or there were crevices on the actual stand over here, what you can do is Control T. Control T means you're transforming the actual image itself. And after that point, come up to this part here. So this allows you to warp the actual image a bit. So you can do all sorts of things. Have a little bit more, control over things. So if it's going over a bin and you want to make it look more realistic, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. So I'm going to leave it as it is. That's one example of of just customization of the actual image. Okay, our logo there. Let's look at another one. So the other image that I chose off this, I went down here and I like these ones over here. I like them if I can get to them. So waiting. Okay, there. Okay, so just laid out. Literally, customers when they come through and look at something like this, they love the fact that all the actual items are laid out. You got to look at when you go through a store. Would you buy from your store? I know we get a bit overzealous and we try to, you know, we get into this real excitement phase where you think that your store is amazing and anyone will buy it, but actually it looks like shit. Like, come on, let's be honest. The main reason is you need to make it look professional. You need to learn all these things to actually make someone want to buy your product. So, how can we go about this? Let's think. Simple. Start off simple. One logo over here. Maybe you can make it slightly bigger. Let's do that. That's a real random logo. It's not a creative studio, but for this purpose, center this out a bit. For this purpose, that's what we're gonna do. Make this a creative studio, which it shouldn't be, but okay, whatever. So, in other words, just have like a watermark for a logo. Then you can put other things here, like your warranties, claims, and whatnot. So, free shipping, have a badge for that, have a warranty badge over here. Make the actual product photo look appealing, because that's one big thing customers look at. How often do you go through and look at the specifications when you're just browsing, not necessarily wanting to search a product, just browsing? Half your customers will want to do that. So not necessarily they won't be looking for your product, but your product will just pop out and potentially an ad, and they'll be browsing through it. Like I said, another way you can go about this is having this propped up on the actual object. In this case, it sits pretty well, to be honest with you. But let's take a look at this. So, maybe you want to curve the edges out. And how do we curve the edges out? Simply like that. Curve the edges out, make it a bit smaller. Oh. Sort of like it's wrapped around a cylinder. So we can do something like this. Sorry if my computer fan is popping off, but it's a i9 processor on this one, weird flex, but yeah, this thing just keeps fucking popping off with the fan, which ain't great. Okay, that was a pretty poor example, but you get what I mean. You can easily do something like this. Lower the opacity. What I tend to do is have some sort of color overlay. Let's say your brand color was gray, set it on gray, so color overlay under layer style, and there you go. So wait, hold up, brand color, no, you want it as normal so it shows up. So always set the actual opacity, the actual blend mode to normal, to make sure the color pops up. Now I always tend to like to lower the opacity just because it fits in better, especially when it's an external image. What you can do also is just add again that bit of blur to it. So the more you actually create these, the more you'll know what to actually do in this type of situation. So for instance, we blur that in. I mean, look at that. How can you not tell that this is your brand? Wait, how can you tell? How can you forget it? this is your brand basically. So customers, when they look at that, they will see your brand logo there. Granted that you've already had a chat to your manufacturers, potentially they've sent you photos of samples and you've created it this way. Now you don't actually need to wait for the actual sample to get to you. You can do that and it can get to you, but in the meanwhile you can still have your whole company running essentially. And if you're happy with what your manufacturers have sent you, for instance. So yeah, those are just simple ways of getting things done. We'll be dropping more videos, more gems as we go along, but this is just one quick little tip regarding your product photos. Follow, subscribe, do all the rest of the jazz like this, but as we go along, I'll drop more hints to actually, there's all these videos out here that kind of tell you, okay, um, learn how to create this, learn how to create that, learn how to create a website. Okay, you've made the website, but is anyone going to actually use the website? No one's teaching you how to make it appealing. No one's teaching you how to actually put it out there like that, to make it a professional brand. So hopefully this channel actually takes you through that journey. So pay attention, stay along for the ride, and hopefully we can make some money together. Thank you.